Okay folks, I'm going to try something completely different. I'm going to do a little bit of a food adventure. I'm not making everything look beautiful. I'm just in my kitchen on my day off. So I'm going to be making a vegan burger. I'm going to use these king oyster mushrooms, and then I also have some jackfruit. This jackfruit is bagged up the way it is because we get it fresh and then cut it down. Then we have to boil it and then clean and prepare it. And so that's why it looks like that. So that's going to be for me. I'm also going to put some shredded onions, which I've already cut up, and loads of seasonings. You know, I've got tons of seasonings. And then for hubby, because he can eat gluten, which comes from the seitan or the vital wheat gluten, I'm going to use my vegan chicken that I have here, and I'm going to blend it to make a new kind of burger. So even though it's in burger form at the moment, what I'm going to do, I want to get it kind of like a little bit softer and kind of like that texture of like you know, like a ground meat. So I want to like do kind of like ground chicken and then as a burger. So in order to do that, what I need to do is cut this up, and then I'm going to blend it with a little bit of the jackfruit, which will add a really good texture to it. And then I'm going to probably use a little bit of, if I have any left, I'm going to use a little bit of chickpea flour. If I don't have any left, then I'll use maybe some semolina flour or something to help bind it. Not tapioca flour, that would make it a bit too, yeah, maybe corn flour or something. Anyway, this is totally impromptu, so bear with me and we'll see how it comes out. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the blending process. This for my burger. I haven't had a burger for literally probably 2 years, maybe longer, maybe 2 years or longer. So I'm going to try and get my burger on with something that resembles something that has some substance to it. I can't eat bread, but there is a local company that makes tortilla wraps that I can actually eat. So I'm going to be having mine in a tortilla wrap. Let's just see what happens. Okay, so I have washed and lightly pressed my mushrooms, and I'm going to loosely blend them to get them to kind of be tiny little fragments, but I don't want them to be perfect. Like if I cut them with a knife, they're going to be perfect. I want them to have kind of like scraggly bits about them. So I'm just trying to get this cut so I can put them into the blender and that the blender will be able to kind of work on them. So let me move on to the next part. Let's get that blended. All right, I'm going to just get a little bit of coconut oil in there to encourage it to move around, and I'm going to blend off camera for the noise. Okay, step one is a success. I basically just pulsed it for a few seconds and moved it around, pulsed it again till it was all pulsed up. All right, so this is what it looks like, and to me, it actually looks all right. Let's get some light here, make it easier. It looks like mush, but that's okay because when you do ground beef or whatever, it looks like mush. So far, in my opinion, so good. I'm gonna now just do a little blend on the jackfruit, similar thing, just kind of pulse it up. And then I'm gonna do some of the onions, get that really good and fine. And then I'm going to season this and then somehow turn it into a burger. I think the only thing I would have done differently so far is done this the day before and then just left everything to marinate. But hey, I'm hungry now, so we're going to see how this goes. I actually just wanted to show you something on this jackfruit. This part of the jackfruit, you've got two different parts of the jackfruit when you cook it. You got the flaky part that looks like pulled pork, right? But then you've got this part. Try and make this clearer. Maybe give you a little bit more light. All right, great. So you got this part here, right? And this part, to me, I really like using this for a meat-free alternative because the texture, it's a bit wet at the moment, but the texture of it is actually very much like meat. And whenever I have done this, seasoned it, and then cooked it and then left it in the fridge or freezer, it lasts forever. It doesn't, it's like so hard for it to go off. I've left it in the fridge for like ages after freezing it, and it just doesn't go off very quickly. I think it might be something about it kind of like being preserved. I don't know why it did that, but it lasts for ages. So, and the texture of it, if I can kind of like show you the texture here, you can see like it's got kind of like fibers, like if you had cooked beef or something like that. And I really like that. So if you get the flavor in here that you're looking for, you're going to get a really good result. And this is a great way to go meat free. If you want something that kind of doesn't melt in your mouth, that you can actually get to chew. A lot of vegan stuff it just melts in your mouth. But if you don't want to go the vegan meat angle for allergies or whatever reasons, in my case, it's for food intolerance because of a condition that I have. So I have to look for alternatives. So this is actually going to be working really good for me. So I'm going to squeeze out a little bit of this water, and then I'm going to go ahead and just put them in the blender. It's okay to mix. I don't need to clean it because they're all going to mix together, and then we'll get to the seasoning part after. Okay, so I have enough of that ready, and you can see how much water came out of that. That would all be going into the burger. There's nothing wrong with it. It's not dirty. It's just salt water. But I don't want that to be in the burger to give too much moisture. So I'm going to blend this gently now with just a little bit of oil, because this is the one I'm also going to mix with this, and I'm going to take half of it for my burger. Okay, we have success. That has blended really nicely. Remember, I'm not trying to get it to be a liquid. I'm trying to get it to be like a loose texture. And here is what it looks like on the plate. Now, the great thing about this jackfruit is jackfruit has almost no flavor. In fact, no flavor at all. And it will take on the flavor of however you season it. This texture, when it's like that, is like tuna fish. It's like like it's really got a nice texture to it when you blend it out like this. And if you put some seaweed with it, some lime or lemon, salt, umami, and really amp up the flavor, salt and pepper, amp up the flavor, this will end up tasting like fish. I've done it before and it's delicious, and it's really lovely in sandwiches. And as you can see already, this is only taking me a couple of minutes, and you can make it in bulk and then just leave it in the fridge or the freezer in portions for when you need to use it. So far I've got this. I'm going to use half of this for my burger. I think I'll probably make 2 burgers out of that. That's a bit big. And then half of this is going to be used for my hubby. So now all I need to do is blend up a couple of pieces of this vegan chicken. It's going to end up looking kind of similar to this. And then I'm going to be combining that to make a really lovely, like a steak. He's having it with jacket potato today. Oh, I forgot. Before I do that, I'm going to just do the onions, because I can't eat this. And if I do this first and the onions after, I won't be able to have onions. So I'm just going to throw some of the onions in, because I can eat both of these things, and just kind of get those nice and really throw some flavor through. And I have some minced garlic, so I don't need to do this with my garlic. I'm going to get some minced garlic when I do the seasoning part. Okay, onions are done, and I'm going to get started on the chicken pieces next. Even though I'm destroying this by ripping it all up, I just want to show you what the vegan chicken looks like. This is the one, I think I posted it on my channel already. And if you were to rip these apart, that's a great size for a nugget. Look at that. So easy to make. You just rip them apart, put them in some coating, and you've got a really lovely nugget. You can make it in actual oil, or you can do so in your air fryer. But that's nugget territory right there. Pretty good. And the chicken is now done. Let's get that out. And here is our ground chicken. Yes, it looks like mush. That's what ground stuff looks like. So that's the ground chicken. It's got a few flecks of the onion in it, which is perfectly fine. So right now that I'm going to mix half of this with this, and then that's a burger right there. I'm going to season it, of course. Then I'm going to put also some of this in there as well. And then for my burger, it's going to be the mushroom, half of that, and the onion. And I'm going to go ahead and get the garlic now and the other seasonings together. Okay, I've got a really basic seasoning mix because I'm out of so many seasonings. I've just not had the time to sit down and get them ordered. But I've got paprika in here, a little bit of nutritional yeast, some pink sea salt, white pepper. I think that's pretty much it. And then I have my blended garlic, which I make at home. I've got some corn flour here. And then the flavor is going to be really amped up by these pre-fried onions. They're like baby shallots, the little red onions. And this provides a delicious, crunchy, but umami flavor. It's really, really strong. So that is also what I'm expecting to bring a little bit of extra flavor here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start off with my one because I can't eat this, but he can eat everything that I've got. So I'm going to basically start off with mixing this up, and I can't do it with one hand. I'm just going to give you the razzmatazz. You'll see it once I mix it. So I'm just going to basically get a handful of this, handful of that, some of this, and half of the seasoning because I want to leave half for him. I'm going to put a little bit of this with it and then just mix it down. I'll show you anything interesting between, but I do need two hands for this. All right, just wanted to show you progress. I've got half the stuff in here, and if I had it, I would use smoke powder. I don't have any smoke powder right now, but if I had it, I would use that because that would just set this flavor off. But we're going to do with what we've got because that's what it's like. And yep, let's get into it. I've added in the fried onions and also the minced garlic, which looks like this. And then I'm gonna put 2 spoons of corn flour, and then let's see how it comes out. Okay, on the whole, this smells good already and it looks good, but I don't think it's gonna hold together enough. It needs chickpea flour, but I don't have any. I ran out, so I'm gonna try and muster something together. I'm going to use some of this semolina flour to give it a little bit of substance, and then there's a wholemeal flour which I don't really like to use or to eat for myself, but if I need to, I'll just add a little bit of that in there to add a little bit more structure to it. But in terms of it being gooey enough to stick together, it is, but I want it to kind of survive being fried in one piece. So the other one will be easy. This one I just have to use my wits a little bit more. Okay, I added a 1/4 cup of the wholemeal and then about a 1/4 cup of, no, 1/2 cup almost, of the semolina, and I've now got the consistency I need for it to be able to hold together. So I'm just going to give this a good mix, and then we're going to get this frying while I move on to the next one. Folks, I'm so impressed. These are the burgers for me. Oh my gosh, they've come together so well. Oh, this is perfect. All right, so if I had time, I would freeze them first and then fry it, but I don't have time, so I'm just going to cook 2. I'll eat 2 now, and then the others I'll freeze. Okay, if mine turned out like that, his ones are going to be even better. So I'm going to go ahead and get these all together. Oh, so excited. Okay, hubby's mix is looking good. I didn't have to put any of the semolina because the vital wheat gluten in here is going to bind it all together. And this is mine. I'm going to put those on the skillet now. Let's get 2 of those on and see how it holds together when it's frying. But so far, so good. I'm so happy with how it even holds together. Okay, so here is hubby's 5. Looking pretty nifty. Mine are cooking beautifully. And they've held together. And I'm going to let those stay on because, of course, it's got mushrooms in it. And I want to make sure that those are fully cooked through. But in terms of holding together, I'm really pleased with that. Let's get hubby's ones in here now. Okay, I got to be honest, a complete surprise to me is hubby's ones are not holding together as well as I want them to. So I really did need to put some flour in, but it's too late now. It's all going down the same way. My ones are holding up fantastically well. I haven't seen anything for myself that even remotely looks like a burger for so long. So I'm over the moon. I already tasted the mix before cooking it, because all the other elements were pretty much cooked before I put the flour in, and it tasted good. So I'm happy. Hubby's one is going to taste amazing because the chicken's already seasoned, and I've added more seasoning, garlic, and also onions. So that's going to taste good. So I'm just going to start now preparing the other things that we're going to eat it with. Hubby's having it with potato. I'm having it in a wrap. So yeah, I'll show you what it looks like after. Okay, looking good so far. Mine are ready. Hubby's are ready. So I'm going to start plating up. Okay, we're almost done. I have got some hoisin sauce as a side, some homemade guac as a side. I've got some shredded beetroot and some raw bok choy, which is really nice. So that's what we're both going to have that. And then hubby's potato is ready. Everything else is ready. So let me show you the final serving. Okay, folks, here is the final look. Lovely big jacket potato with garlic butter, vegan garlic butter I made at home. The two chicken steaks. And for my one, my two mushroom jackfruit steaks with the wraps and a few little accoutrements to set it all off. So that is it. That is my our lunch for the day, and each burger I had 5 of them. So that will be more than just one day. Anyway, hope you have a great day. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. Remember to like and subscribe. Tell me what you would eat with this. What would you change? And of course, stay delicious. Please remember to share this with friends and use it for a little bit of inspiration. Be happy. Have a great day. Stay delicious. Bye.